Recording, and I'll also start.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Swagatam. Today is March 30th, 2011. This is Samasa Vicharaha. Let's do the Mangala Charanam. Ramo Rajamanish Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Bhiyata Nishachara Chamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Raman Nasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham Rame Chittalaya Sada Bhautame Bhorama Mamuddhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattalyam Rama Nama Varandane Shri Rama Nama Varandana On Nama Iti. So Shri Mahashra Sutrani O I Un Rulruk E Ong I Yauch Hayavarat Lan Nyamang Nam Jabain Gardadash Jabagardadash Kapa Chata Chata Tav Kapai Sha Sar Hal Iti Mahashra Sutrani. Okay, last time, one thing I want to clarify from last time, we're in the book, we are, right now in the book, we are on this point about supa. I think we somewhere around here we finished last time. The compound which cannot be classified into the fourfold division given above or given the general name of supa or sahasupa or compounds consisting of two or more inflected words. Now, I think Kalpesh asked the question last time. I think I didn't do a good job of explaining that one. So let's look at the Ashtadhyayi. Ashtadhyayi is Sutram. We look at, I think it's 214 is Sahasupa. Samartah Padavidhi. Subhamantrite Parangavat Sare. Parakadara Samasaha. Then Sahasupa. Now, this Sahasupa has two things going on here. First thing is we talked, I think, last time about the Yoga Vibhagaha. So, Yoga Vibhagaha is, with Sahasupa, is justified on the basis that Supa is already a Tritiya Ekavachanam. Then why do we need Saha in that also? So, that is one of the justifications that they give is that Panini intends, so Panini Sammataha Yoga Vibhagaha. So, that you split the sutram into the saha and supa. So one that this yoga vibhaga is done only so we can justify those very rare compounds, particularly in the Veda, which are done with a tingantam padam. So yoga vibhaga is only needed to justify a samasa with a tingantam padam. Otherwise, you don't need yoga vibhaga. So if one sutram will become sup, then saha. So shabdantarena, so samarthena shabdantarena samasyate, shabdantarena. So this yoga vibhaga, one more time, of sahasupa into saha and supa is done on the justification that supa is already tritiya ekavachanam. So saha iti padam adhyahartam shakyate. You can bring in the saha padam without having to put explicitly. So saha is still in the compound. So Panini intends there to be a little loophole over here is what they say. In order to justify those very few rare compounds which are with a tingantam padam, and those are mainly only in Chandasi, only in the Vedas, so we don't have to worry about that. So this, because if you split this into saha only as one sutram, meaning becomes sup, so shabdantarena, so samarthena shabdantarena saha samasyate. So that become one sutram. So that was one part of this, which we don't need in this class. In this class, you're not going to be considering those situations where you have a samasa tingantam padam. So 214 is sahasupa, sahasupa, and this yoga vibhaga is sahasupa. So yoga vibhaga is done in order to justify the rare compounding with a tingantam padam. But we don't have to worry about in this class because we're not going to be looking at that. I mean, 99.9% of the time, you're not going to find a samasa category, in non-achandasi, non-Vedic. So amantre. Now that is the yoga vibhaga. So to take saha as separate and take supa as separate, again on the basis that the supa is already there, then why put saha? So we don't need this in this class. Now what we do need is that this saha supa sutram is interpreted in two different ways. One, I think, which I think Kalpesh was talking last time about, which I didn't do a good job of explaining last time, so just want to go over it one more time, is that one is that it says it is a vidhi sutram, and one is a adhikara sutram. There are two different ways that they take this Sahasupa as a sutram. Now, taking it as a vidhi sutram is what allows us to basically explain those compounds which don't have a specific rule of Panini, going down, like avye bhavaha, tatpurushaha, bahuvrihi. So when a compound cannot fit in any of these special categories, then we take Sahasupa as a vidhi sutram, So sup, so supasaha samasyate. So samarthena supasaha samasyate. So it doesn't have any special category. It's a miscellaneous category. So that's the vidhi sutram part of sahasupa. So we don't need any other vidhi to form these kind of compound which we saw, like in Gita we have seen adrishtapurvam rishitosmi drishtva, right? Adrishtapurvam. So those kind of compounds we can justify, that is in chapter let's see, in chapter 11, adrishtapurvam rishitosmi drishtva bhayena chaprivatitam manome. So that compound, I think we saw in the class last time, there is no sutram to justify that compound. So those kind of compounds are justified by taking sahasupa as a adrishtapurvam. Here it is. It's chapter 11, number 45, adrishtapurvam. So that one, those kind of compounds, so sahasupa is taken as a so taking 214 as a vidhi sutram, that's what allows us to okay. So taking 214 as a vidhi sutram allows us to account for these. So that is why they are called sahasupa samasaha, because they are used in this miscellaneous sense as a vidhi sutram, allows us to account for the miscellaneous category of compounds, category of compounds, like the like adrishtapuram in Gita, adrishtapurvam. So these are the kind of compound which you have to, like the adverb, mainly the adverb compound, adrishtapurvam in Gita 1145. So that is what was the second point of the sutram sahasupa. So one is yoga vibhaga, which we don't need. It's only to justify compounding a tingantam padam. The second thing is to take it as a vidhi sutram and the adhikara sutram. Adhikara sutram, of course, is the expected meaning. Adhikara sutram means that in any of these remaining sutras going from here all the way up to 2 to I think it's 29, the entire samasa prakaranam, anuvritti goes down up to charthe dvandvaha, all the way up to here. The adhikara of sahasupa goes down. So that's the one, that's the adhikara sutram. But in addition to adhikara sutram, take it also the vidhi sutram in order to justify the kevala samasaha. Okay. So of course 214 is a adhikara sutram.
Satish ji,
yes.
Just for quick clarification, can you give the vritti of Sahasupa as the Vidhi Sutra?
Let's go to the vritti. Let's see what we have to see. Let's say 229. Okay. All right. Let us see. Sahasupa. Let's see what vritti we get. Okay. So it's 214, right? Sahasupa. So sup iti vartate. So sup saha iti supa iti cha trayam api adhikritam veditavyam. So these are the three adhikaras. So sup, saha and supa. These three terms are forming adhikara. So that will go all the way down to 229. And then one more thing is sahagrahanam yoga vibhagartham. So the saha is also known as the yoga vibhagaha. So tinga api sa yatha syat. But he's not talking about taking it as a vidhi sutram here. He's not talking vidhi sutram. I think in Laghu he may have mentioned, let's see, yoga vibhajyate I may find it. See, the main general meaning of the sutram is the adhikara sutram. But subhitya vartate samaschate suparvachate. Okay. Okay. See, the way that you take it as a vidhi sutram is that I'll give you the give me 1 second. I'll look up because Kashika has not, I think, given it in that manner. But let's see, Sahasupa. Okay. Okay. So Yoga Vibhagaha. So he said, okay. Let me give you the 1 second. Sahasupa. I'm trying to look in the Shastriji's okay, Prathamadishtam Samasu. I think when you do the yoga, when you do the Vidhi Sutram, then it will become like, you know, Sup Sahasupa Samasyate, without having any special category, trying to find the exact Vakyam in the Shastriji's Yoga Vibhag. Give me 1 second. It is in I'm looking at the commentary of Shastriji on Prakadara Samasaha. Okay, Sahasupa. Let's look at this now. Krityaja Samasa. Supasaha va samasyate. Okay. Okay, so this is Adhikara Sutram and Vidhi Sutram. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I don't think there is. This is just the Vyakhyanam I'm looking at. So, I don't think the actually the Vritti in Kashika gives this Vidhi Sutram as an example, because Kashika only says Supiti Vartate, Supiti Saha iti Adhikritam Vedita. Only Adhikara only is given by Kashika. Anukramishyamaha Vakshati Ditya Shita Ditya Shita Visamsate. And then he talks about the Yoga Vibhagaha. Okay, he's not talking about the Vidhi Sutram in the Kashika, but in the Kaumadi he has given this thing about this being a Vidhi Sutram also. Actually, Kaumadi Vyakhyanam he has given. Let me check the Kaumadi. 1 second. 1 second. Let's see what Bhattuji says. Now that we brought up this point, let me see. Okay, 3 Prakaranam. But if you can see what Kaumudi says there, I don't know if he mentions it there itself or in the commentary only they have mentioned this about being this double duty of the Adhikara Sutram and the okay, Samartha Padavidihi. Then under Sahasupa it says Saha iti Yoga Vibhajyate. Yoga Vibhaga is Subantam Samartena. Okay. Chandasyeva. Samasatvat Patipalikam Sahasamachate. Okay. Yoga Vibhagaha Sampurva okay. So in the I'm not finding this thing in the Kaumudi or in the Kashika right now. But okay, Indu has a comment. Let's see, maybe she's found it. Let's see what Indu has to say. Yes, Indu.
Satish, Shastri just says that Varadaraja has mentioned this as Vidhi Sutram in page 10.
Page 10.
Line 4, line 4.
Okay, the Vidhi Sutram. So basically the Laghu Kaumudi as basically
Laghu Kaumudi has said it.
Right? Let's see what Kaumudi takes. Saha iti yoga vibhajyate subantam samarthena saha samasyate. Actually, even in the Kaumudi also it says Subantam samarthena saha samasyate. Yoga Vibhaga. So they are taking, look at this, they're taking as a, so the Kaumudi is taking as a Vidhi Sutram first. So the Supasaha Vasamasyate. Okay, so that is the vigor, that is the vritti of this one. Is that in the Kaumudi they put this as, yes. Yes.
So I'm looking at Joshi and root version, okay? And he also says, according to the tradition, 214 has a double character. It is regarded as both Adhikara and Vidhi Sutra.
But the Kashika is not saying that, right?
Yeah, but I don't know where he also gets it from.
Maybe in the Mahabhashya, look at the Mahabhashya, maybe there is some, I have not looked at the Mahabhashya on this.
Satishi, Shastriji says it's not in the Mahabhashya like that. The same page, a couple of lines above it, he says just that they take it as Vaikalpika.
Okay. On the same page, it says...
like one line above.
Okay, give me 1 second. One line above. No, it is Vaikalpikam. Yeah, it is optional. It says Vidhipurak. So in the Kaumudi, you're taking as a Vidhi Sutram. Okay, I'll have to check the Mahabhashyam on this. But Kashika is not, the fact that Kashika has not put that, maybe it is not to be taken as a. In fact, if you give me a second, I can quickly look at the Mahabhashyam, see where it's coming at. See if he has mentioned anything about it being a Vidhi Sutram also, because so this interesting Sutram where Kashika is taking it as a Adhikara Sutram, and while the Kaumudi is taking it as a Vidhi Sutram. It's a rare example of this, right?
Satishi, when Shastriji gives Mahabhashyam and Kashika and talks about Vaikalpika and then talks about Varadaraja calling it Vidhi Sutram, it implies to me that Mahabhashyam doesn't say that.
Yeah, let me just check in 1 second. Sahasupa Pruthak, so Sahavachanam Pruthak Asamasatam. Okay, it says Sahabhutayo Samasasanya. Yadaikavitsya Samasasanya. Okay. Ivena Bhakti Nohita. Let's see if there are quite a lot of Vartikams here, Amvya Bhava. It's only like half a page. Mahabhashyam has only like half a page, like 1 page on it. So I can quickly scan it if you give me 1 second. Let's see. So it says the meaning in Mahabhashyam is, in fact, in the Mahabhashyam it gives a vritti also that, a sup is composed of another sup. So almost like the meaning in the Mahabhashyam book which I have is giving it like a Vidhi Sutram almost. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, all right. Let me take this as homework. If I can find something in the Mahabhashyam for you, I will look at it in more detail. Not seeing it quickly right now while I'm looking at it, but anyway, for our purpose, we have to make this sutram as a Vidhi Sutram, in order to justify that Kevala Samasaha. I think we need that. I don't know what the origin exactly of that I'll look it up. But at least by the time the Kaumudi was there, so they were taking it as a Vidhi Sutram. Otherwise, if we do not take it as Vidhi Sutram, we will not be able to justify the Kevala Samasaha. Because as you can see from 215, we start the Avya Bhava and this and that. So the only chance to justify this kind of compound like Adrishta Purvam is here. Because after this starts Avya Bhava, then starts Tatpurusha, then Bahuvri, and then the Samasa. And that ends the Samasa Prakaranam. So if you want to justify this, this is the only place that we can do it. And the way to do it, as I said, take it as a Vidhi Sutram separately and take it as Adhikara Sutram for the remaining part of the Samasa Prakaranam. But Kashika has not done that. Kaumudi has done that. The Lahu Kaumudi has definitely done that, because the vritti in Lahu Kaumudi, you can see is that in fact I think we have the Lahu Kaumudi. I'll show it on the screen also here. So if you look at the Lahu Siddhanta Kaumudi, let me try to bring it up here. Lahu Siddhanta Kaumudi, let's see if we can find it quickly for you here. Let's see. Sahasupa, right? Let's see what Sahasupa says.
Satishji, there is a Bala Manorama, one sentence.
What does it say?
Samasyata iti.
Yeah, that's just fine. He says sup supa saha va samasyate. That's all he says. So this is like a Vidhi Sutram. Definitely is taking.
Yeah. Samartha padavidihi ityatah समर्थग्रहणम् अनुवृत्तं तृतीयता इति
Anuvritti is coming now, that's what he's saying.
परिणम्यते यदा तदा सुबन्धमित्यादीना समस्यत इति एकीक्रियते प्रयोक्तम्
The only thing is that we have to find where he said it's with a Vidhi Sutram, But see, the thing is that Kaumudi already has given it like the Vritti in Kaumudi is said, Subantam Samarthena Saha Samasyate. That's the Yoga Vibhaga there. That's Yoga Vibhaga. But so basically that is, another way of doing it. Anyway, we have to do the yoga, we have to take it in two ways in order to be able to, justify these kind of usages. So I don't know exactly what the origin of this might be, but at least for this class, we have to make it as a Vidhi Sutram, in addition to being a Adhikara Sutram. So that's the thing which I didn't clarify in the class last time clearly, is that the Vidhi Sutram is required. So the two things going on. Yoga Vibhaga is only for justifying the Tingantam Padam going into a compound. But for this class, you can say Tingantam na samasyate. Tingantas don't go into compounds. Vidhi Sutram we do need in this class because Vidhi Sutram has to be used in order to, in the book what he's talking about is that he's talking about these Kevala Samasas, right? The general appellation of Sup Supa. That's this paragraph here. This paragraph here requires us to take this as a Vidhi Sutram. And that we can take it on the basis of the Kaumudi. It might have another deeper basis than that. I'll look it up and maybe we can, maybe next time. I don't want to waste time in class. So we will come back. I'll come back to you next time in case I find something more than the Kaumudi to take it as a Vidhi Sutram. I'll let you know in the next class. So, okay. So that was the thing about this Sahasupa. Good. So at least we are getting more understanding about this Sutram. And we talked about it last time, particularly the adverb compounds, the one which are, like Drishtapuram means which was seen before. So this before is an adverb to the action of seeing. So those kind of compounds we will not be able to justify from any other compound categories. So next thing so I'll come back to you next time in case I find any more justification for the Vidhi Sutram besides the the Lagu Kaumudi. Okay, next thing he's talking about is the Nitya Samasa, Anitya Samasaha. Nitya Samasa, Anitya Samasa. Now what is this going on here? So what he's talking about is that this Sutram which is 2.1.11, Sutram 2.1.11, it says Vibhasha. Vibhasha. So this Vibhasha is that, all these Samasas, unless specified otherwise, they will be only Vibhasha, means optionally, means Pakshe Vakyam api Sambhavati. So you can also make a Vakyam from the same Subantam Padam that you use in the compound. So a simple example we saw last time is that we saw Raja Purushaha, you can also say Rajnya Purushaha. So Vakyam api Prayoktum Shakyate. Vakyam Prayoktum Shakyate. You can always make a Vakyam out of it. But there are some compounds where you cannot use, this Vakyam is not possible. In all these cases, of course, there is the, Abhyankar gives a very nice definition. What is Nitya Samasa? Nitya Samasa is basically one which is, Swapada Vigraha Vakyam na Sambhavati. You cannot have a Swapada Vigraha Vakyam. You cannot use the same words as used in the compound to form a sentence, to describe the compound. That is called a Nitya Samasaha. Nitya Samasa is when you cannot use the same words as used in the compound. So, Aswapada Vigraho Nitya Samasaha. Nitya Samasa Aswapada Vigraha. Which doesn't have a Swapada Vigraha, that's a Nitya Samasaha. So that is the one. So let's look at which sutras can give Nitya Samasaha. So let's put that Nitya Samasaha is the Nitya Samasaha is the Swapada Vigraha. Vigraha, where you cannot make Swapada Vigraha Vakyam. Vigraha is a Nitya Samasaha. Now, in Ashtadhyayi wise, which are these? They are, if you look at before 2.1.11, this Vibhasha only starts from 2.1.11. So these others, where, this 2.1.6 to 2.1.10, there is no Vibhasha for these. Like a word like Yatha Shakti, when you can say. Yatha Shakti, that's Avyabhava Samasa. We look at these in detail, as we go along in the book. If you take an Avyabhava Samasa, Yatha Shakti, Yatha Vidhi, let's say. So what will be the Vigraha Vakyam of that? Vidhim anatikramya yatha vidhi. Vidhim anatikramya yatha vidhi. That which is doesn't transgress, doesn't violate the vidhi, yatha vidhi. Now you could not use the word yatha exactly in the Vigraha Vakyam to get the correct meaning. So that means that it is a nitya samasa. Sometimes a Vigraha Vakyam may not be so basically that's the definition. If you cannot form the Vigraha Vakyam with using the same words as using the compounds, that gives a nitya samasa. So the examples of these are from 216 to 2110. That's in the Avya Bhava section, 216 to 2110, 216 to 2110. And then also later on, Panini specifically, so that's one section. In the, one more time, we have the Sutam Vibhasha from 2111 that goes to the end of the, the Samasa section, all the way to 229. But, so the prior rule, which is 216 to 2110, are Nitya Samasas. And not only that, later on also Panini has mentioned the word Nitya in the Tatpurusha compound. So some of those are also Nitya Samasas. So if you go down there, at the end of Tatpurusha compounds, your Tatpurusha compounds go from 2122 up to 2222. So towards the end of that section, then Panini again gives this thing about the Shesha Bahuvari Nityam. Nityam Krida Jivikayoho Kukati Pradaya Upapadamating Ameva Vavyayena. Ameva Vavyayena. So this also, these three, Ama Eva Vavyayena. So these three also come in the Nitya category. If you take Upapada Samasa, Kumbhakaraha, when we say Kumbhakaraha, so you cannot use the word Karaha to use in the Vigraha Vakyam, which says Kumbham Karoti to Kumbhakaraha. Kumbham Karoti to Kumbhakaraha. So that also, those are also. So Kuggati Pradeha and Upapada Samasa, these are important. Like you say Kupurushaha. Kupurushaha will be Kutsita Purushaha, Kupurushaha. Kutsitaha Purushaha. So ku means kutsita. You could not use just the ku in the Vigraha Vakyam to give a meaning of that compound. You have to use some other word. So like the paradayaha. Again, we have not done these compounds in detail right now, so just take these examples, as they are for the time being. We say paracharyaha, like a headmaster. See, pragataha acharyaha paracharyaha. You have to use the word pragataha, acharyaha, pracharyaha. You have to use a different word also. So, in fact, we take even a gati samasa when you take. Gati samasa, like in the first sloka of Gita, dharma kshetre, kurukshetre, samaveta, yustavaha, samavetaha. Now, that's the gati compound. So, sam, ava, ita. You'll have to use some other words, to just not some and ava, to describe that kind of compound. So these are good examples of the, and as you say, he gives the good examples are the Upapada Samasa is one of them, which is this one over here. So like when you say Atmajaha, so Atmanaha Jayate iti Atmajaha, you have to use Tingantam Padam to describe the, so it says Upapada Samasa, Gati Samasa, and there is, so let me put these numbers down here again. So these 4 sutras, which is the Nityam Anuvatti goes to 220. So Nityam Chida Jivikayoho, then the most important ones are here. Kugati Pradayaha, Upapadam Mating. Upapadam Mating is a very large category of compound, Upapadam Mating. And all of those are Nitya Samasaha. Then Ameva Vyayena. Ameva Vyayena. So that is also, that's also not that common. So Ama Eva Vyayena. Ameva Vyayena. Ameva Vyayena. So that is those 4. Among that, this is a very good category, Upadamating, and the Kugati Paradeha also is a large category. These 2 are not that common. This Krida Jivika Yoho and the Amaiva Vyayena also is not that common. Amaiva Vyayena. So these 2. So 2, 18, 19. So let me put this. So 2, 17 to 2, 20. So 2, 17. And then after that, there are some little small things here and there also, which like a Vartikam, and so I'll put so important ones are the important ones in here are the 2, 18, 2, 19, 2, 18, 2, 19. So these are the important ones, which is the Kugati Paradeha Upapadam Mating. Then there is one small thing here. I think there is a Vartikam under the, so sutra-wise, these are the ones. Now, there is in the Chaturthi Tatpurushaha, there is a Vartikam on that. So let's just go. So Chaturthi Tadarthartha Balahita Sukharakshitaihi, this 2136 has a Vartikam on it, which calls for Nitya Samasa. So now there's a Vartikam now that is going to make a Nitya Samasa also. So that's like a third category. So 2136 Chaturthi. I'll show you the Vartikam in here. So let us look at this Vartikam, which is the, okay, here this is the Vartikam. Arthena Nitya Samasa, again Nitya Samasa Vachanam, Sarvalingata cha Vaktavya. So with the word Artha, you can form a Nitya Samasa and also become an adjective. So Brahmanartham Payaha simply means Brahmanaya Payaha becomes Brahmanartham Payaha. So that word Brahmanartham Payaha, you cannot use the word Brahmana and Artha to make the Vigraha Vakyam. You have to say Brahmanaya Payaha is Brahmanartham Payaha. This is another Vartikam which gives the Nitya Samasa formation, where the Samasa Vigraha Vakyam cannot be formed using the exact words that are used in the Samasa itself. So let me put that. So this is a 2136 Vartikam, 2136. Put that also. That's a 2136, and this is only a Vartikam on that Sutram, but it's an important Vartikam. So that would be another way to form a, okay, let me do that. And then in the book, actually, he gives a completely different example, which I will go to that one also in a second. Let me just fix this font over here. Okay. Now in the book, what he's given is that he's given what is, see, let's look at that one, and okay. Okay. Now what is given in the book is that he has given the what's called a special kind of Karmadharya or Tatpurusha compound, and that's what is called as the Mayura Vyamsakaha. Let's look at that one also. So that is the last sutram in 2.1. In 2.1, Mayura Vyamsakadayascha. So these are very strange special compounds which are kind of a miscellaneous category of Tatpurusha compounds. When they don't fit Tatpurusha definition anywhere, and particularly the Karmadharya compounds, they don't fit, then you have to put them in this Mayura Vyamsakadi. Mayura Vyamsaka also is a Gana. Mayura Vyamsaka is a Gana. And that in that Gana are put all these compounds which don't behave, as per the what is given as and it's Akriti Gana. It's Akriti Gana. So in this Gana you can stick in. So when you hear the word Mayura Vyamsakadi, Mayura Vyamsakadayaha, you can say Mayura Vyamsakadi Aditvat Sadhu. So it means that it is a compound which is considered to be okay. But sometimes they say, they might just say Mayura Vyamsakadi, maybe it's a compound of that class. If we look at the Siddhanta Kaumudi, it says Ete Nipatyante. So these are special compounds which gives ready-made forms. Without giving any rule, these compounds are given. Mayura Vyamsako, Mayura Vyamsakaha. So he's like Vyamsaka is Dhurtaha. So there is this strange compound, Mayura Vyamsakadayaha. And in that there is the example is given as this is Akriti Ganaha. And one of the examples is Anya Raja Rajantaram. So this now if you take let's look at the book for a second what he has given. In the book he has given us the example of the Nitya Samasaha is a Samasa which, okay, Anitya Samasa is Samasa which can be expounded into its various parts without changing the meaning. Shatru Hataha, Shatruna Hataha. So straightforward, take Shatru and Hata, this is Titiya Tatpurushaha, so just make Shatruna Hataha, Shatru Hata Viraha. So that is what the most of the time you can expect this kind of Vigraha Vakyam. Nitya Samasa is a Samasa which cannot be expounded into its various parts, either because its expounding would change the meaning or because expounding would require the use of different words. Now let's skip this one in between here. I'll talk about it in a second. Let's look at this one, this Kanyantaram. This Kanyantaram is the Vigraha Vakyam is Anya Kanya is Kanyantaram. Means another girl. So that is Kanyantaram. So it's a strange kind of compound. It's a Karmadharya compound, which is, see, normally if you're Karmadharya compound, it should be Anya Kanya. That should have been the samasa. But this word Antara, in fact, I looked also in this, the Shabdendu Shekharaha, Bruhat Shabdendu Shekharaha is a commentary on the Siddhanta Kaumudi. Then there the example in this Kaumudi is Rajantaram. Rajantaram or Kanyantaram. Antara, and also the word Matra also is used. So Raja. But anyway, let's talk about Antara for time being. It means the Bhinnavachi Antara Shabdaha, which means another, a different girl, another girl. It's a Nitya Samasa. So this is a Nitya Samasa just because it's a miscellaneous class of compounds, Tatpurusha compounds. This is a Karmadharya compound. It's included in that category. It doesn't fit in the Karmadharya compound. So this also becomes a Nitya Samasa. There's not really sutram for this. So Kanyantaram will be an example of Nitya Samasa to be included in the 2172. So 2172, this is a miscellaneous special, so Mayuravam Sakadayashta. So 2 by 2172. By 2172, so this is like a fourth category. So by 2172, we can justify the compound. We can justify the compound, which is the we can justify Kanyantaram. Justify Kanyantaram. Kanyantaram as equal to Anya Kanya. Anya Kanya. So this is only Nipatanat. This is Nipatanat because this is justify based in Nipatanat. Given as ready-made form. Also in Akriti Ganaha. Mayuravyam Sakadi Akriti Ganaha. So Nipatanat as a ready-made form, which are used in the language. They cannot be justified using anything else. Kanyantaram. This is part of the Mayura Vyamsakadi. Mayura Vyamsakadi. Vyamsakadi Ganaha. Vyamsakadi Ganaha. And this is the Akriti Ganaha. It's Akriti Ganaha. Okay, so that's, I think, but let's look at the book now, what he has given. And that I have a bit of a question on that. I'm not exactly sure what is in the book is a Nitya Akriti Ganaha. Okay, this is Akriti Ganaha, no typo. Okay, Akriti Ganaha. Akriti Ganaha. Okay. Now, so that's another example he's given in the book. So this was just a very rare, special, not rare, but it's an exceptional form. And it happens to be Nitya Samasa, that's all. The point doesn't say it, this is, so Mayuravam Sakadi doesn't mean they're all Nitya Samasas, But this particular one happens to be one which is mentioned in there. So we have to accept it as a Nitya Samasa, that's all. Nipatanata. Now, look at the book, what he says. The book he has given a meaning which I'm not really sure it's a Nitya Samasa. In the book he says, the Krishna Dehaha. This Krishnaha Deha Yasya Saha. Now, I'm not sure this is a Nitya Samasa because Nitya Samasa definition is that the Sapada Vigraha Vakyam should not be possible. Now, I can say Krishna Deha Yasya Saha. If I can say that, I don't know, this is a question mark. I'm not really sure. I don't think this is a Nitya Samasa. It doesn't look to me, because let's say let's say a word like, Pitambara Vishnu. Now, of course, Pitambara could be anybody who has a yellow garment could be called Pitambara. But doesn't mean that it's a Nitya Samasa. I don't think it is, because it's a Pitam Ambaram Yasya Saha Pitambara. In this case, Sri Krishna Vishnu it can be. So I don't think Pitambara is a Nitya Samasa. Same thing Mahabahu, it could mean, I don't know, this is Chintanyamidam. So because Pitambara means Vishnu doesn't mean it's a Nitya Samasa. I don't think so. Krishna Deha is, I don't think it's a Nitya Samasa. Anyway, so if you think about it, we just put a question mark here. I don't think this is a Nitya Samasa, because the definition I'm looking at Nitya Samasa is that Swapada Vigraha. Atra Sapada Vigraha Sambhavati. You can have Sapada Vigraha over here. So put this as a question mark. I'm not sure about this one. Doesn't look to be Nitya Samasa to me. But Kanyantaram he has given is as I said, from the Anya Kanya. That is that Gana of the Mayuravam Sakadihi, and take it as the Nipatanath and Akriti Ganaha. and it happens to be Nitya Samasa. The really good example of Nitya Samasa, as I said to you before in the class, is the good example of Nitya Samasa are these over here. Like this one, like Yatha Shakti, that's a very good example. That will be a Sutram itself is a Nitya Samasa because the Anuvritti, the Vibhasha Sutram comes after that. So Yatha Shakti will be a Nitya Samasa. This is a good example. So let's take these examples. Okay, Yatha Shakti, that's one. Now the 2 to 18 Kugati Pradaya, like Kupurushaha, that's also Nitya Samasa because you have to make a Kupurushaha. Kupurushaha, that's a good one. You can also take Pracharyaha, so Pracharyaha, so Pracharyaha. That's a good one. And there'll be others also. And of course, this is a big category, which is the Upada Samasas. Upada Samasas are, the Kumbhakaraha, famous example, Kumbhakaraha, which is Kumbham Karotit Kumbhakaraha. So that's a good example. And you can also take this one as this Chaturthi, which is this Vartikam. So example would be you take like a Brahmanartham Payaha. So you can take that one. Brahmanartham Payaha. Brahmanartham Payaha. So this is a good example. So take these. That other one is Chintaniyam. You have to think about that. So Brahmanartham Payaha is a good one. Kumbhakara is, of course, there are many of those. Atmajaha, Kumbhakaraha, Kamalajaha, Aparagaha. This is a very big class. These are a very big class of compounds. A lot of them will be seen, Kumbhakaraha. And then these are also quite a few, Kupurusha, Pracharyaha. Oh, this is only one Vartikam for only the word Artha. That single word, only this Vartikam is there. But it is used, so it's also this one. Then these are much more, only this single word, again, the word Antara and Matra are used. So you can say Artha Matram. So you can say just that, meaning that. So there are two specific words, Artha and Matra, which are being used to form the special compounds in the Mayura Vamsakadi Ganaha. So that is one. Now the book, as I said, I don't know if that is a justified Kevala Samasa or not. Nitya Samasa or not. I think we will leave that for Chintaniyam list, which we don't know. I'm not sure that it is the that one. Okay, so that completes this part now. So one more time, Nitya Samasa is, yes.
Yes. Two quick questions.
Yes, sir.
One is that this Nitya Samasa, we call it, is there any prayojanam for it, or is it just an understanding that it is that the Sopada Vigraha is not possible?
I think generally because what we say, we talked about earlier, right? That we take the Vyapeksha, and we talk about the. Let me go to Google Doc for a second. We talk about two kinds of samarthyam, right? So
Ekarti Bhava and
Ekarti Bhava was one of them, and then I'm sorry, where is that? Ekarti Bhava and the Vyapeksha was there, right? So generally, like we say, Rajnya Purusha, Vyapeksha is there. You can form the compound, make it, Raja Purusha. So both of them should be possible. As a general rule, both should be possible. So basically, I think it's just saying these are specialty kind of compounds, That these are, you cannot expect to get a Vigraha Vakyam out of them, taking the individual elements, I think. So these are basically identifying these special compounds where, you will not be able to get a Vigraha Vakyam based on the, Sopada Vigraha Vakyam will not be possible. If it's Nitya Samasa,
I think,
go ahead.
Yeah, I think my question was, are there any rules later on that I need to be aware of which are specific to me?
No, not really. There's no rule to be. There's no rule to be applied after. If it's Nitya Samasa, do this, do that. That is not there. That is not there. I think the only thing, I'm not aware of any rule which says that if it's Nitya Samasa, then do this or then do that. There's no such thing that I'm aware. If we can check, because let's look at the Sutram, which is the 2.2.17. Let's see if Kashika mentions anything. I don't think this has any vidhi. So vidhi prayojanam nasti. There's no vidhi prayojanam for that, I think.
Satish ji.
Yes.
The under Sutram Vibhasha,
yes.
Bhattoji defines it as an Adhikara Sutram and then talks about Nitya Samasa in the Vyakhyan.
Correct. Yes. So he talks about, what Kalapesh is asking is that This is Nitya Samasa. Does it mean I have to apply some vidhi after that for Nitya Samasa? I don't think that's the case. I'm not aware of any vidhi that we have to bring in just because it's a Nitya Samasa. Does it mean I have to bring some vidhi in after that? I don't think so, you know.
The two technical words he is using is supsupa iti tu na Nitya Samasaha. Avyayam ityadi samasi vidanat jnapakat. That's it.
Yeah, so I think that is saying is that, you know, this, so let's look at the word, let's look at Sutram Vibhasha in the Kaumudi. Let me see if you by chance mention anything more about, okay, so 2-1, so number 665 in the Kaumudi, that is Vibhasha. So Adhikaroyam, etat samarthyadeva prachinanam nitya samasatvam. Okay, so what he's saying is, first statement Bhattoji makes is that, etat samarthyadeva prachinanam nitya samasatvam. So what he's saying is that 2-1-11 Panini states Vibhasha. So that means that samarthya, but the fact that Panini is saying Vibhasha in 2-1-11, so etat prachinanam, the one which came before these, maybe we already talked about that, from 2-1-6 to 2-1-10, in fact all the way back here from Sahasupa, all these, you know, these ones, they will be, you know, nitya sama, particularly these. Let's leave Sahasupa like in the miscellaneous category. All these 2-1-6 to 2-1-10, they will be nitya sama. That's the first statement Bhattoji makes, is that etat samarthyadeva, the very fact that Panini mentions Vibhasha in 2-1-11 means that prachinanam nitya samasatvam. Supsupa iti tu na nitya samasa. In fact, he clarified also. He also clarifies one more thing, is that the supsupa is not a nitya samasa. So because that was like done like a vidisum, like kind of a loophole, you know. So one more time. So what Bhattoji is saying is that the fact that Panini mentioned Vibhasha over here means that the ones prior to these have to be nitya samasas. So that will mean all of these. But then this Sahasupa or Supsupa, that is not nitya samasa. Only this 2-1-6 to 2-1-10. Maybe I'll put that in. So he says that Supsupa iti tu na nitya samasa. No, na nitya samasa. That's not nitya samasa. So avyayam ityadi samasa vidhanaj jnapakat. So this is not going to be, so from here only, samasa vidhanam starts from here. Samasa vidhanam starts from here. So from here only we have to talk about nitya, and from here to here is the nitya samasas. Supsupa is not a nitya samasa, is what he clarifies. That's all he says. So anyway, coming back to Kalpesh, your question, I don't think there's a vidhi link to this, Kalpesh. I don't think there's any vidhi link to this one. It's only telling you that these samasas, the Vigraha Vakyam will have to be formed using some other words. That's what he's saying, I think. So.
Okay. And then the second question is that there's one more samasa, this Shaka Parthiva. Is that also nitya or?
No, Shaka Parthiva is, you know, is a Vartikam basically. Is a kind of Karmadhara samasa, you know, where you have to supply, like example like Parushurama, right? So Parushurama is Parushu Sahita Ramaha. That's not nitya samasa. I mean, short answer is no, it's not. Short answer is no. Because that samasa comes.
Because, you know, with its own words only, you cannot actually give the meaning, right? So.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, I see. So.
Swapadena eva vigraha.
Yeah. So it says. Let's see. Samasadhikarana adhikari Shakapa. This is Vartikam on 2-160. Shakapartivadana upasankhyanam uttarapadalopascha. So Shaka. Okay, I see what you're saying. But then again, how would a compound like Vidhava then? Also a Vartikam. So like, you know, vigataha dhavaha yasyaha sa, one whose husband has departed. Is that nitya samasa? Then probably should be, right? That's also Vartikam now. These two are Vartike, so it is difficult to now say. So let's look at this one. So 2-160 Vartikam. What Kalpesh is saying is that a special kind of compounds. In a Karmadhara compound, basically when you have to supply something in between, basically you have to modify the prior part of the compound to make an adjective out of it. Like Parushuramaha. Like in English you talk like computer guy. I gave the example before, computer guy. So computer loving guy, you know, computer knowing guy. So that is when we have to, we have to supply that in between. So it says Shaka Pradhana Parthiva, Shaka Parthivaha. So so this we have to, so then then can we have to then supply something in between, right? So then can we take that as nitya? Let me think about this one. Shaka Pradhana Parthiva, Shaka Parthivaha. Swapada Vigraha Vakyam na sambhavati. But I'm not finding anybody saying it's a Nitya Samasa. Let's see. Shaka Parthivadi. Okay. I'll look at this one and give you a better answer next time. But so in fact, in my mind comes one more thing also now, that in 2224 there is the Vartikam, which in the Bahuvari compounds, where you can make compounds like this one. Anekamanya Padarthe. It says Pradibhyaha Dhatujasya Uttrapadasya Lo. This is a Vartikam. Lopascha Va Bahubhir Vaktavyaha. So it says Prapatitam Paranam Prapatita Paranaha. So it's one this. Then Prapatitam Palasham Prapalashaha. And so this you can have a compound like Vidava. Vidava is Vigataha Dhavaha Yasyaha Sa. The one whose husband has departed. So now we cannot just use the word we have to use Vigataha instead of we. Same thing Shaka Parthivaha or Parushuramaha, Parushu Sahita Ramaha. How about Shri Ramaha? Even that one. Shri Yukta Ramaha, Shri Sahita Ramaha. So that is also Shri Rama also is a compound Shaka Parthiva. Shri Ramaha, Shri Krishna, all these are Shaka Parthiva compounds. So I think if you really look at it very technically, Kalpe, it looks to me that yes, these are also then considered to be like that, won't it? Because Swapada Vigraha Vakyam is not possible. So, but I don't see, I think because this is a Vartikam Kalpesh, I think people are giving it prominence. So, maybe we have to, well, I'll put this down here. So, and since as you said, there's no vidhi coming after it, it's not going to make a difference really. If you classify nityam or not nityam, it will not, make really.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. Since there's no vidhi as such, it may not matter much.
But the one thing which bothers me a little bit is that, Kalpesh, is that when we looked at that Sutram 2.1.14, that the same Vartikam again, right? But there, I'm sorry, not 2.1.14, 2.1.34 I think it was, yeah. No, not that one. The Chaturthi, which one did you give that one? That was the 2.1 Chaturthi, 36, okay. 36,
2.1.
36, yeah. So he says, there the Vartikam says, Archana Nitya Samasa Vachanam, Ulingata Cha Vaktavya. So here the Vartikam says Nitya Samasa, doesn't it? The other one he doesn't say. So that leads me to believe that maybe the other two are not Nitya Samasas then. See what's happening here, Kalpesh, is that maybe we can do it like this. Maybe let's try this, Kalpesh. Let's say this is Brahmanartham Payaha, right? He said Brahmanartham Payaha when we say. Now the word Artha is not in the Samasa Vakyam at all, Vigraha Vakyam. Brahmanaya Payaha equals Brahmanartham Payaha. Same thing we say Kumbhakaraha, right? We say Kumbham Karoti iti Kumbhakaraha. The word Karaha is not at all there in the Samasa Vigraha Vakyam, is it? Correct? So,
yeah, I think I see what you're getting at.
And see, look at the Kanyantaram, like Raj Kanyantaram. So Anya Kanya Kanyantaram, right? So the word Antara is not in the Vigraha Vakyam at all. I think those are really truly Nitya Samasas. The word Yatha Shakti, right? So Shaktim Anatikramya Yatha Shakti. So the word Yatha is not in the compound, is not in the Vigraha Vakyam at all. Like Kupurushaha, Kutsita Purushaha. Again, the Ku was not in the Vigraha Vakyam at all. So I think those are true to life Nitya Samasas. I think these Shaka Parthiva and also word like Vidhava, I think they might be a little bit on the fringe, I think those are technically not considered to be Nitya Samasa, if you ask me, Kalpesh. Now, looking at this Vartikam now, Arthena Nitya Samasa Vachanam Sarvalingata Cha Vaktavya. Here Panini, Katyayana says Nitya Samasa Vachanam. While in Shaka Parthiva and even the word with the Bahuvari compound, it doesn't say that. So I'm a little bit worried, about that Kugati. But then, I don't want to spend too much time in the class because I don't know. But basically, I don't know the exact answer to your question. But I'm thinking that in a word like Kanyantaram is definitely Nitya Samasa, no doubt about it. You cannot use the word Antaram in the compound at all. Same thing, Kumbhakara is straightforward. Yatha Shakti is straightforward. Brahmanartham is straightforward also. Now, This is Shaka Parthiva though. You can say Shaka. So basically you're taking that word Shaka and you have to do a little bit of tweaking required. A little bit of tweaking is done. Make it Shaka Priya Parthivaha. So now is it Nitya Samasa really? That's a difficult question to answer. My thing right now I'm saying no. Because even the Shaka is coming in the Vigraha Vakyam. It's only taking as as a, it is that Shaka is standing for the Shaka Priya. So, but anyway, I'll think about it, Kalpesh. But my only question is that here he said Nitya Samasa, this one clearly says, while in the other Vartikam, Nitya Samasa is not mentioned. So and then I'm looking at the Vyakhyanam, I'll look at more details, but I'm not seeing anybody mentioning the word Nitya Samasa in that kind of, in that environment, But I'll look it up. Okay, let me put a question. We'll put a question mark right now. For time being, let's take it as not a Nitya Samasa for time being, Kalpesh. But I'll look it up. I'll see if anybody mentions Nitya Samasa in the commentary, of either the Shaka Parthiva or the other one, Bovary compound like Vidhava, I'll let you know. Okay, so good question. Let's think about Samasa. Samasas are unfortunately not black and white, There are gray areas, there's the Vartikani, there's the Akriti Ganas, like Mayura Vyamsakadi. So that is what makes Samasa a little bit fun. It is a short section, but there are these, areas for kind of debate, so we're already seeing some of them. But that's what makes it a little bit challenging, a little bit fun also. But the good news is that there are also very short sections. You don't have to look too much around for, many rules. The rules are few, but they have to be a little bit, flexibility. Flexibility has to be there. Okay, so question is that, is Shaka Parthiva Nitya Samasa? For time being, keep the answer as no. I'm not seeing anybody mentioning that, but I will, in fact, if you want to just give me 1 second, I will quickly look in the Kaumudi. Let's look at this. That's my first stop, and I want to look at a commentary. I first go to the Kaumudi, look at the Tattvabodhini, see if you by any chance mentions, the Nitya Samasa, Shaka Parthavadinam. Okay, let's see. Shaka Parthavadi. Okay, that's on 178 page. So that is a Shaka Parthavadi. Okay. Shaka Parthavadi Nam. 1 second. Shaka Parthavadi Nam. It's page 178 of this Nirnaya Sagar book. Oh, here it is. Shaka Parthavadi Parthivadi Nam Siddhaye Uttarapada Lopasya Upasankhyanam. It doesn't say Nitya Samasa. It says Uttarapada Lopasya Upasankhyanam. That's all he is saying. Okay, then maybe Kalpesh, is that a hint for us, Kalpesh? Uttarapada Lopa has taken place. So maybe the compound really is Shaka Priya Parthivaha.
Satish, I think what I'm trying to understand.
Yes.
Satish?
Yes.
Yeah, what probably I think I might be coming down to is that, Aswapada Vigraha, that is a Tritiya, right? So it's maybe, if you can define it with the words of the Samasa,
yes,
then it may not be a Nitya Samasa.
Correct.
But
No, but I think I found the answer, Kalpesh. The answer is that the Shaka Parthiva really is Shaka Priya Parthiva itself, the compound. But there is a special, we have a special vidhi has taken place, special operation. Uttarapada Lopa has taken place. So the compound starting with was really like a, like a word like, see basically in 6.3, right? We have so many of these rules, right? Which talk about vidhis, which take place in a compound, in the like Yudhishthiraha and all that, right? Right? Yudhishthiraha and Atmane Padam, Vishwamitraha, In fact, let's consider this one, Kalpesh. How about the word like Mahatma? Right? Now that Mahat became Maha, didn't it? Doesn't make it into Nitya Samasa, Kalpesh. That if you have so basically just because you have a Samasa Vidhi going on doesn't make it a Nitya Samasa. Okay, so that's good. I'm glad. See, this is how, unless you teach somebody, you never understand it, unless you try to teach somebody. Okay, so for the rest of the class, so Kalpesh had a very good question, is that if you have a word like Shaka Priya Parthivaha, looks like in the Vigraha Vakyam, we cannot use just Shaka and Parthiva. We say Shaka, Priya, Priyaha Parthivaha. Of course, Shaka Priya itself is a compound, it's a Bahuvari compound, but that's fine. But now, is this a Nitya Samasa or not, is the question. The answer, I think, is no. Because the compound really is Shaka Priya Parthivaha. So that is the Vigraha, that is the compound. Now, there is a special operation taking place, which is Uttarapada Lopaha. The Pura Padasya Uttarapada Lopaha. So that the Pura Pada was Shaka Priya. Out of that, Priya is going out by a irregular operation. So that doesn't spoil the Vigraha Vakyam originally, which is Shaka Priyaha Parthivaha. Only thing is that once the Samasa has been formed, Vigraha Vakyam has been done, after that you're doing a Vidhi, which is making Shaka Parthivaha. Now, compare that with Kumbhakaraha. There's no such thing. Kumbhakaraha, there's no other way to include Kara in the compound. Not like, you formed a compound and then Vigraha Vakyam was fine, and then you could, there's no way to do it. So, Kumbham Karotit Kumbhakaraha, that's what it is. Same thing, Brahmanartham Payaha, when you say. It's Brahmanaya Payaha. The word Artha cannot be brought in there and done something with it. How about the word Vidhava now? So you can Vigataha. So Vigata Dhavaha is really the compound. Vigata Dhava is really the compound. So Vigata Dhava is the compound. And that's perfectly fine. Vigataha Dhavaha Yasyaha Sa. No Nitya Samasa. But once the Samasa was formed, then you put a Vidhi on that saying that Gata will become Gatam, will be go away. So that's also not Nitya compound. Now how about Pracharyaha now? How about Pracharyaha? So was there a Pragata Acharyaha? So was there a compound form with Pragata Acharya and the Gata was dropped out of it? That was not the case. The Pra was used directly in the compound without, so Pra cannot be used on its own in the Vigraha Vakyam. So, okay. So the clarification here, I think, and Kalpesh, thanks for the question, is that the Shaka Parthiva compound and a compound like Vidhava, they're not Nitya compound because of the fact that they're really standing for Shaka Priya Parthiva and Vigata Dhava. That was the compound that has a perfectly fine Vigraha Vakyam. Only thing is that after the compounds were formed, an operation was performed afterwards to make to basically change the compound to a different form. That does not make them into Nitya Samasas. That's what I think the answer is. Because the reason I realized that, because look at the Kaumudi, he says that Shaka Parthivadinam Siddhaye Uttarapada Lopasya Upasankhyanam. Means that only Uttarapada Lopa is the operation taking place. That is the special operation. It doesn't make a Nitya Samasa. The one more thing which you looked at, that Sutram again, that 2.2.24, the Vartikam in there, the Vartikam in 2.2.24. This is what Samasas are going to be like. So get used to this. Samasas are not black and white. There will be a lot of vichara to be done with different approaches. So it is, you have to be ready for some different points of view, some different variations. That's, that makes it interesting. Because here also, see, Pradibhya Dhatu Jasya Uttarapadasya Lopascha. This is a Nitya Samasa. You form the compound regularly, Vigata Dhava, and then make it Vikalpena Uttarapada Lopaha Vidhava. So is that happy? Is that okay, Kalpesh? So that's what. So those I think are not Nitya Samasas. The Shaka part.
Yes, thank you. Okay,
good. So all right. So this makes my understanding also a little bit better. Okay. So that's now he's talking about. So one more time to clarify, Nitya Samasa with Supada Vigraha Vakyam is not possible, and those include, the Avyabhava compound before Vibhasha. So from 216 to 2110, that's one section, 216 to 2110, because they're before the Vibhasha Sutram. When Vibhasha starts, then there's no Nitya Samasa. So 216 to 2110. After that, we saw Panini specifically mentioning the word Nityam. Comes at the end of the Purusha compounds, which is from here, Nityam Krida Jivikayoho, Kugati Pradeha, Upapadamating, Amayva Vyayena, and that is main ones of these two, Kugati Pradeha, Upapadam. This is a very big one. Upapadam is a big section. Then we saw the Vartikam on 2136, where the word Artha is compounded. Here Nitya is the Vartikam on this Sutram. So Brahmana Artham, Acharya Artham, whatever you can say. So that is, Acharyaya, Acharyatham. And then in the book we saw a special case of this Mayura Vimsakadi compound, where also Nipatana is given like Rajantaram, Kanyantaram, where these are special special strange compounds which don't fit any category, and they happen to be Nitya Samasas inside there. Inside the Gana are some examples of compounds which are Nitya Samasas. That's also another one. But okay, let's move on. And then next thing he's talking about, and this one is, I don't think it is, the Krishna Deha, and this is really questionable, this one in the book. Okay, now the next thing is talking Aluk Samasas. So Aluk Samasas is again, once the compound is formed, as you mentioned, we have to apply the Kritadita Samasascha and then Supo Dhatu Pradipadikayoho. Kritadita Samasascha Supo Dhatu Pradipadikayoho. That is the Samanya Vidhi. So it will be applying all the time, which is inside a compound, inside any Pratipadikam or any Dhatu, sup cannot stay. But there are some compounds where the sup does not take look. And that section is in 6.3. Let's just only look at this section briefly today. Aluk Uttarapade. I think it's going to come in detail when you do this specific kind of compound, Aluk Uttarapade. So this one goes from 631 to I think 6326 it goes. 6363, I think 631 to 6326 if I'm not mistaken. But 63 is a section you should definitely be familiar with that section. You should become familiar with that. We're going to be using it a lot as we go along over the next year. So yeah, Aluk is up to 24, I'm sorry. So Vibhas, up to 24. So up to 631 to 6324 are these compounds. And sometimes, some of the famous one like is Yudhishthiraha. So this is, example is one like that. Then, you can say, let me take a couple of sutras from here. How about 21647? So 637, Atmane Padam, Parasmane Padam. When you form these grammatical terms, which are Turthi can take Aluk. So 637, let's look at 637 very briefly. Vayakarananam Akhya, Vayakarana Akhya is a grammatical term. Akhya Sanya. So Yaya Sanya Vayakaranaha Eva Vyavaranti. So these are terms used only in grammar. When they use terms only in grammar, then, this Atmanaha Uttarasya Chaturthya Aluk Bhavati. So after the word, so Atmane Padam, and then Parasya So these are all these kind of compounds. We're going to come to these in detail when we do this. And this 219, I think Yudhishthira is 219. I think Yudhishthira is 219. So you'll find these compounds sometimes where the supluk has not taken place, and that's when you come to this section from 631 to 6324, and see if you can find a rule for that. Why it doesn't take place. So Haladantat. So Halanta and Adanta, if you have, Saptamyaha Sanyayam. If you have a Saptami Tatpurusha compound and the Pradipatikam is ending in a Hal or a Akara, if it's Sanya, if it's mentioning not, if it's a noun form basically, a special form, so then it takes it's a proper noun. Then it takes Aluktante, Yudhishthiraha. So one who is firm in battle. So Yudh became Yudhishthiraha. So Aranye Tilaka. These are not very common compounds, but there some of them are there. These are another kind of compound. Another one which is there is, and we'll just take maybe one more example only, and let's see. There's another one which is used. Tatpurushe Kriti Bahulam. This is the important one. There's one thing we remember from this one is look at this one, which is 6.3 Tatpurushe Kriti Bahulam. That will be 14. 6.3.14. Let's look at this one. And again, we will come back to these a little bit later, so don't worry about it in too much detail. 6.3.14, Tatpurushe Kriti Bahulam. So it says Kurucharaha, Karne Japaha, Stambe. Tatpurusha compound when you have, and when the Uttarapadam is Krudanta Uttarapadam, then the Saptami can take Bahulam Aluk. So Karne Japaha. Karne Japa is one who gossips, one who tells something in the ear. Karne Japaha. So now this is, a gossip monger. These kind of compounds can also take, like Sarasijam. How about that? Sarasijam is a lotus. Sarasijam, Sarojam. So these can also take the Bahulam. They can take. So when you have a Tatpurusha compound, basically, you can use this sutram to justify a word like Sarasijam as being a lotus, etc. So anyway, we're going to look at these in more details when we do Tatpurusha compounds. when we see that. So this is another place where our rule of the Supo Dhatu Pradipadika Yoho is kind of bypassed over here. So Aluk Samasas are in the section from Aluk Samasaha. So Supo Dhatu Pradipadika is not done. Samasaha are 631 to 6324. 631 to 6324. That's the section, 6324. And quick examples which I gave are Atmane Padam. Atmane Padam is the grammatical term. The Chaturthi can take a look. I think it was 637. I think the number was there. Then Yudhishthiraha, which we gave, which was Yudhishthiraha. Yudhishthiraha is I think it's 639 is there, and then 6314 like Karane Japaha. 6314 is an important one because it's a Bahulam in there, so that one can be used to justify. In fact, let's put Sarasijam is a good example. Sarasijam is a lotus. Sarasi is Parvadikam. Sarasijam. This is 6314, which has the Bahulam in it. We will highlight this one, 6314. That's a good one to remember, 6314. So one more time, Aluk Samasa is when the sutram of Supodhara Padikada Yoho is not honored in the Pura Padam. The Pura Padam retains its sup inside the compound. So 7 Vayakaranakhyayam Chaturthyaya Haladantat Saptamyaha Sanyayam, and also the Tatpurushakati Bahulam. Okay. Now the next page, what he's doing is that he's jumping into this section for the Samasantaha. Samasanta. Anyway, example in the book, Parasupadam Atmanipadam is 637. Okay, that's the sutra for that. Now the Samasanta, we looked at it last time in some detail of this general structure of Samasanta, the section, how it is, the breakdown of that section. And there, let's go to it one more time quickly. Samasanta start from, this is also one important section. So this is end of a compound. These are Tadita Pratyas. The Pratyas are being added now. So Tadita Pratyas are being added to the end of compounds. So we distinguish from 6.3, it's talking about some vidhi which is being done to the Purapadam. Two different things. You don't remember these very, very carefully. The 6.3 is talking about the Uttarapadesati Purapadasya Karyam. Some Karyam to the Purapadam. 5.4 is talking about Tadita Pratyaha being added to the end of compounds. Something at the end of a compound. This starts from Samasanta, starts from 5468. Now, then Pani says no, which means that some Samasa will not take Samasantaha. So that will go up to for 2-3 sutras. Then, so that's 5469, 70, 71 talking about no. The Samasanta will not apply to these three. And there's a Vibhasha here. Pathin will take Vibhasha in some cases, in Tatpurusha compounds. Then for Bahuvrihi, Panini stuck one sutra for Bahuvrihi. And then, after that, these rules, which are going to be see today, some of them, is from 5474 to 5485. So 12 rules. These are for all compounds. It doesn't say Bahuvrihi, Tatpurusha, Vibhava, etc. Then from 5486 onward, we saw in the class last time itself that Panini has put these. We did in the class last time is from 5486 to 105 is Tatpurushasya, and then 106 is Single Sutram for Dvandvat. After that is 54107 to 112 is Amvibhave, and 113 to 160 is Bahuvrihi. So now today we're going to look at only from the section from 74 to 85, which is for all compounds, 74 to 85. So let's look at the book. Let's see which one. We're not going to look at all of them. Look at only some of them, which is given in the book. And again, unfortunately, this is to be taken literally after you know something about compounds. But anyway, the book here is given right now, so we have to follow the book. So we'll take them. In the Kaumudi, he takes it at the end. After you know these compounds well, then you can use this Samasanta Vidhi but I guess he's preparing you ahead of time. So you won't understand all the compound formations right now. Just remember that these special operations takes place, not operations. These pratyaya, these special affixes are prescribed at the end of these compounds. Okay. So some important modifications take place at the end of samasas. So I shouldn't say modification. Basically, a pratyaya is added to it. You should remember that. Tatpurusha pratyaya, pratyaya vidhiyante, samasante. So they become, these are pratyayas, and they get included in the compound. The samasanta is a strange thing, is that a pratyaya is added, and that becomes a part of the compound. Samasanta. So that pratyaya becomes the ending part of the compound. That's one special thing over here, Now when you say pratyaya is added, it can become like separate, So when they say Ramasya, the sya is separate from the pratipadikam. But here what has you had a pratipadikam, kutisya samasascha, you add a pratyaya to it, and that pratyaya becomes part of the samasa now. Samasanta. So that's the special thing of samasanta. In fact, maybe we should look at 5468. This is a kind of a special thing about a pratyaya being added and being taken into that element, So 5468. Look at adhikaroyam is adhikaraha. Apada parisamaptehe. Up to the end of this pada is adhikaraha. Ye pratyayaha vihitaha. So those pratyayas which are prescribed from here to the end of this 5.4, te samasanta avayavaha ekadeshaha bhavanti. Samasanta avayavaha. So they become samasanta avayavaha. So they become part of the compound. Ekadeshaha means they become a part of the compound. Bhavanti. And the tad grahanena grijyante means when you refer to the samasana, tad grahanena means samasa grahanena pratyapi grijyante. So to refer to the compound is also going to include that pratyaya also going to come up with that. So they will also get part of the become abhyabhavas or purushas, whatever they'll become inside of that. So one more time, the samasantaha is a strange concept where you add a pratyaya to a compound, but that pratyaya becomes the ending part of the compound itself. So that the compound kind of, it goes and goes. So this is not an agamaha. It's not an agamaha. It's a pratyaha. A pratyaha which is almost has some like a feature like an agama almost. This is, So this is a pratyaha because you want to, why don't, this is not an agamaha because see, agamaha only comes and joins to what is in there. And agamaha cannot trigger operations between it and the thing which is joined normally. So in agamaha, of course, sandhikaram will take place. You can do sandhi operations. But you cannot say that this operation is taking place on this agamaha. But these are pratyayas now. So they will trigger operations. But they are considered to be part of the samasa also. That's the big difference here. Is that when the pratyaya comes in, you'll have to do, some angakaryam has to be done. We'll be doing some of those. You'll see today also we'll do a couple of them. So with angakaryam has to be done. So you create angam is created. Pratyaya means you create an angam, right? Yasma pratyaya vidhi. Tadai pratyaya angam. So pratyaya means you create an angam. An angam is created. That will happen here also. When you add an agamaha, there's no angam created. There's no angam for agamaha. So there's no interaction as such between those two. There's no angakaryam. There's no angakaryam. There's sandhikaryam is there. There's no angakaryam between agama and the prakriti. There's no angakaryam. But here there's angakaryam to be done. So you want to do angakaryam here, but then these become the part and parcel of the compound at the end of the compound. That's samasantaha. So samasantaha. So
Satishji.
Yeah, samasantoja. Go ahead.
Yeah. When you say pratyaya, you obviously exclude the supratyayas. Right?
No, pratyayas are including everything from 411, from 311 to end of 54. But these pratyayas,
including the supratyayas.
So supratyaya is going to take a look as a general rule because you're going to apply
supratyaya. Yeah, they will take a look.
They're going to be gone.
Yeah, they're going to be gone. But so also some other pratyayas like quip and pen and other things, right?
Yes, exactly. So like a cup and a touch and a and a ach and a dutch. So they will be coming.
They will be coming. Like when you said kanyantaram, obviously there is a pratyaya there, right?
No, Kanyantaram is you had only a su, so you took look over there. That's it. There was no samasanta pratyaya there. No, there wasn't any. No.
No. Okay.
No, not in Kanyantaram. No. So so anyway, that's the important word samasanta is that these are pratyayas. They come. They do angakaryam also if the case if there is a particular case, and then they also become part of the compound. That's a special thing. Let's look at these in the book now.
Satish,
Yes.
Satish,
yes.
Satish, when you say it becomes part of the compound, means that after it becomes a part of the compound, the samasa itself can then later on take a supratyaya after that.
It will take, not it has to take.
Okay. So that means this.
Go ahead.
So basically, nya pratipadika also is an adhikara here.
Yeah, definitely. Nya adhikara here. Yes. So you have the samasa has the samasa as it is formed has a pratipadika sanya kutita samasascha. Then you add this pratyaya to it. But that pratyaya gets absorbed in that samasa and becomes a part of the pratipadikam now. So basically you're taking a pratipadikam, adding a pratyaya to it, and that pratyaya is becoming part of the pratipadikam now. That is the thing. That is the special thing which is going. If you say Ramasya, that Sya the pratipadikam. The pratipadikam will remain Rama only. Will not make the pratipadikam Ramasya. So basically, as Kalpesh says, is that you take the samasa. Let's take an example over here. So we can work with an example, make it a little bit easier. So let's take the example which is given in the book here. Let's say rich. So rich is Vedic rik, basically rik what we call. So rich is a pratipadikam rich. Anrichaha manavakaha. Anrichaha manavakaha. So let's say a student or a boy who has not studied the Rig Veda, who doesn't have, this is a Bahuvari compound. Again, don't worry about too much detail of the compound right now, but let's look at so anrichaha, anrich. So avidyamana rik yasya saha. So this is a Bahuvari compound. So so really what you take is that you take the I'm going to complicate example. Let's take an easier one. Hold on, let me take an easier one for you. Because these we're going to have so many terms which we have not learned so far. Let's take the word up, okay? Let's take up. Let's take a good one. So it's also Bahuvari compound, but let's form this Bahuvari compound and we see what Kalpesh was saying is that let us take the word Vimalapaha, Vimalapam Saraha. So one, it's a lake whose waters are clear. Okay, let's try that. So Vimalapam Saraha. Vimalapam Saraha. It's a lake with clear waters. So Vigraha Vakyam will be what? So Vigraha Vakyam will be Vigraha will be Vigraha. So Vigraha Vakyam will be let's put Vigraha for short. Vigraha will be like this. Is Vimalaha. Remember that up is Silinga Shabdaha. Nitya Bahuvachanantaha. Nityam Bahuvachanantaha. It's always plural, always so feminine also. So you have to make it Vimalaha, Vimalaha, Apaha, Yasya Tat Saraha. So it's a lake whose waters are clear. Okay. Now when you do the Alaukika Vigraha Vakyam, you will take Vimala plus Jas Pratyaya and then take up plus take the Pratyaya Jas. So this is the Vigraha Vakyam to start with, the Bahuvari compound. Okay. Vimala Jas up Jas. Now after applying, Kuttadita Samasascha, Supo Dhatu Pradipadika Yoho, we're going to just get, Supluk, and now we're going to get to Vimalap. Of course, Akasami Dirgha, that can be done, Sandhya operation. So we'll just remove these and just make it Vimalap. So that was, and this is a Pradipadika Sanya now. Vimalap is Pradipadika Sanya. Vimalap is Pradipadika Sanya. Of course, we already did that. We already gave Pradipadika Sanya. In fact, you cannot do Supluk until you get the Pradipadika Sanya, of course, because that 1 to 46, Kuttadita Samasascha, does give Pradipadika Sanya, and then by 2471 Supluk. Now after we do that, again as what Kalpesh was saying is that the Adhikara of Nya Pradipadika is coming down here. This 5468 Samasantaha is still contained in the adhikara pratyaya parascha, and also of Nya Pradipadika. So now that your Pradipadik Sanya is there for Vimalap, now we can bring in the Samasanta Pratyaha, Samasantaha, and we'll add from 5474, bring the Pratyaya, this Dutch Pratyaha. Rik, Purab, Dhu, Patham, and Anakshe. Let's look at the meaning of Sutram quickly. The Sutram says is that these words in the end of a compound, rich, the word pur, up, dhur, and pathin. These five. One more time. Rich, pur, up, dhur, and pathin. When these five at the end of a compound, they take this pratyaya. I'm sorry, not Dutch. This is a strange sandhi going on here. Is rik, pur, ab, dhu, patham, anakshe. The padacheda is anakshe. That should be prathama ek vachanam, taken that has taken a sautra supluk, which is sometime in a sutram Panini does this supluk without because this is a Vedangam, right? This Vyakaranam is a Vedangam. So Chandovat Sutrani Bhavanti. Sometimes in a sutram the operation is like Chandovat, like in the Veda. So this Padacheda here is anakshe. So Rik, Pur, Up, Dhur, and Pathin. When the compound ends in one of these, then they will take the pratyaya anakshe. Anakshe means not in the meaning of aksha. Aksha like a wheel of a cart. So and that is only connecting with the word dhur. Dhur is a yoke. Dhur means a yoke. Also means responsibility. So when the dhur actually means an axle of a cart with a wheel, then the sutra will not apply. So this anakshe, the anakshe part is only putting a restriction on the word dhur. Anakshe will not connect with this rik or pur or up or pathin because it is not possible. Anakshe, how about that? The English word axis comes with aksha. Aksha is the English word axis. Or the English word axle also. The English words axis and axle, that these come from the word aksha in Sanskritam. Aksha like a rod, Aksha, anaksha. But aksha can also mean the wheel of a cart. So wheel. So when the word dhur actually means the axle of that cart with the wheel on that, then this sutram will not apply to that. It's a yoke for that thing with the wheels on it, will not apply to that. But when it means a responsibility, then it will apply to that. That's only for the word dhur. But so padacheda is anakshe, which means that the pratyaya will be coming will be So now what happens is that because we have the word up at the end of a compound, we didn't say what kind of compound it has to be. This happens to be a Bahuvari compound. So then we can now bring the pratyaya because we have a Pratipadikam Vimalap, and to Vimalap we add the pratyaya Now this, because of Sutram Samasantaha, what happens here is that pratyaya pratyaya will Vimalap. So that pratyaya will become a part of the compound. It'll go inside there. So this is 5474 we applied, 5474. But on the basis of and get Vimalap, but by 5468, the pratyaya, the apratyaya becomes a antyavayavaha of the compound. It becomes a part of the compound. The apratyaya becomes a part of the compound, becomes the ending member of the compound, and then this again the entire compound is Pratipadika Sanya. So the word Vimalapo will have the Pratipadika Sanya now. Then as Kalpesh mentioned, now that Vimalapo will take a supratyaya. Of course, then because of Atoam become Vimalapam. So the entire thing Vimalapam is now a Pratipadikam. That apratyaya went and became a part of the compound. This is what the Samasanta Sutram says. The Samasanta Sutram says that these pratyas, when they come, they will become the antyavayavaha of the Samasaha. That is what is a special thing. So basically they get absorbed in the Pratipadikam. And then that Pratipadikam will take a sup of its own, which is going to be depending on the role in the sentence. So far we just formed the compound. Depending on what the role of the compound in the sentence is, we'll bring the appropriate sup after this one now. Vimala plus su, of course then Atoam will make it Vimalapam. So Vimalap will take its Vimalapa. Vimalapa will now take the Vimalapa will take a Vimalapa plus su will come in here. So and then we'll get Vimala. This is by, of course, by 412. Su of just, and we'll get Vimalapam by using the Atoam and the Amipurvaha. So Vimalapam. So Vimalapam by Atoam. So I think it's 7124. I think Atoam and then Amipurvaha is 61107. So 7124 Atoam and then Amipurvaha.
Satishji,
yes.
So in the end, it also decided that it is decided that it is the Napumsakalingam.
Because qualifying Saraha, that's why. No?
Oh.
It's a Bahuvari compound. So it's Anyapada Pradhana, right?
Yeah, that's why it is declined like a Napumsakalingam.
Yes. It could, if it were qualifying somebody else, something else, so it could be, it would be different something else. So you say, so it will be something, you say it's Vimalapaha Sagaraha. Vimalapaha then, the sea with clear waters,
Oh.
So it could have been qualifying anything. So that lingam is coming because of the Saraha. The Anyapada, which is Pradhanyam is in Saraha. That dictates the lingam of the compound. So, so one more time. So what we do is that we form the compound with Vimala just up just. So Vimalaha apaha yasya sat. Make it Vimala up and do the supluk by giving the Pratipadika Sanya Krutadita Samasascha Supodhati Pratipadika Yoho. And after that we begin the Samasa and the Pratyaha, which requires the Nya Pratipadikat. And then by 5468 it becomes the ending part of the compound. So this whole thing becomes the Pratipadikam again. And then to that we'll add the su or whatever the case may be, depending on the role which the samasa plays in the sentence, and then we'll make it the Vimalapam. So that's this tricky thing about samasantaha. They are pratyayas which go, they come after the compound, but then they become part of the compound as the ending member. So now the other things, I don't know how much detail we should. Let's look at the example which is given, right? Okay, you know what? Let's do this. Let's go to, because we're not done all these compounds yet. So to give you all the detail will take a long time, and maybe at this point is not worth it. We'll remember this section that what it's doing. It's adding a pratyaya to the end of these compounds which have these particular words in them. So I'll give you the basic gist of it, and we will come back and give you more details when we do that samasa type. Later on, when we do that, when we study that kind of samasa, we'll look at it in more detail. Today, let's look at it only like in brief. So let's look at, we look at the sutram in detail, but the samasa prakriya only in brief today, because we have not done that. Okay, let's look at this one. So it's bahuvrihi iti na svaryate. It's not just for bahuvrihis. This compound is not just for bahuvrihis, because the prior sutram 5473 had the word bahuvriho in that. Bahuvriho. So that anurti is not going down. Is not going down into this one, the 5474. Okay. Now, Now the thing is that, all right. Okay, let's leave it at that. Then why did Panini being bahuvriho prior to this then? Why did Panini being bahuvriho? So you always ask that question, because Panini has a section for bahuvri compounds coming later on, isn't he? Then why does he have to bring the bahuvriho over here now? That's the question. I think Sankhya Tasmad Dashpatya Bhavati. Sankhya Bahuvri Pratate Tasmad Bahugrananta Dashpatya Bhavati. Okay, I thought that there was a Vibhasha here, but I guess not. Okay. Because the question that I'm thinking about is that, and I think I may not know the answer to it right now.
Satiji.
Yes.
Satiji.
Uh-huh.
It is a Tatpurushat was coming, so he wanted probably to stop Tatpurushat.
No, the comment doesn't say that. See, I was thinking maybe Dutch Anvrutti is coming down, maybe. That's not the reason either. I was thinking maybe that Vibhasha might be required into that sutram maybe. Maybe that's why he puts in that, because Vibhasha Anuvritti is available here. So maybe Pani requires to the Vibhasha. Anuvritti, I was thinking Anuvritti was the main reason, was what I was thinking. I was thinking that, but it is not that reason either. Because he sticks his one sutram in here, Bahuvri, and then again starts Bahuvri in great detail below, way below. Like, I said 100 and something Bahuvri starts. From 54113, Pani starts Bahuvri how? Shach Pratyaha. And then only one sutram is here for Bahuvrihi, which is the Bahuvri how Sankhya Dajaganat. Now let me just quickly look at that.
But Satish, here it's Bahuvri how, not Bahuvri. It's not Panchami there. It is probably
in a Bahuvri
qualifying Sankhya or something like that.
In a Bahuvri compound, is saying, so in a Bahuvri compound. What my question, Kalpesh, is that if you look below there, again Panini has Bahuvri how, isn't it? 113. Then why put Bahuvri how here? Just one sutram, again Bahuvri how, and again start Bahuvri how, again down below there, That's let me just, okay, I don't want to waste your time, but let me see if I can find something quickly here. Because my first guess was it was used to get some anuvritti. Either use the vibhasha down here maybe, or use Dutch into the sutram below, which is not coming. The pratyaya is in this sutram is in 5474 pratyaya is not Dutch. So anuvritti is not going down from 73. And it's not taking anuvritti from prior sutram either. Okay, let me just quickly look here. Padashaha, Padamshaha, 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 Abhuganat, Dashprakarane, Samsha, Samshanam, Kartavyam. Okay, let me look into that. That's another homework for me. So I do not know exactly why Panini has put this once Bahuvri sutram here, and then again puts Bahuvri later on. Okay, I'll think about that one. In the meanwhile, let's look at what we have. So, 547.
Satish ji, though, for that 5474, all the examples given are Bahuvri compound. It looks like that.
No, it doesn't have to be, because look at the Vyakya. Bahuvri is na svaryate. So Bahuvri is not to be included in Aduvritti is not coming here. Samanyena vidhanam. Because look at this example which is here, Vasu. Rajadhura. Responsibility of a king. The king's responsibility. Responsibility of a king. That's not a Bahuvri compound, Vasu. Rajadhura is not a Bahuvri compound. It's the king's responsibility. The king's responsibility. It's a Shakti Tatpurusha compound there. So unfortunately, no, this is not only for the Bahuris. So okay, that's the homework for me. Is why is 5473 stuck in your Panini in here? For looks like no apparent reason, but there must be a reason for that. I will try to find out for that. Okay, anyway. So right now let's look at 5474, because in the book he has given what? Rich Pur Up Dhur Pathin. That's coming in 5474. It's not only for Bahuvaris, we just talked about that. Samanyena Vidhanam. This is called general rule. Ruk Pur, lot of typos here. Ruk Pur Dhur Pathim. Ruk Pur Up. Ruk Pur Up Dhur Pathin. These 5 words. Iti Pathin iti evam antanam. Ending in these. Samasanam. Akarha pratyabhavati samasanto akshena. Not if it refers to a wheel of a card, akshena. And then samarthyat, dhuraha etad visheshanam. It can only qualify dhur. It will not make sense to qualify the others with the wheel of cards. The meaning will not make sense. So samarthyat. There is no logical connection to take aksha with the others. Driggadinam visheshanam na bhavati. That's fine. Then akshay sambandhini yadhuhu tadantasya na bhavati. So there is a yoke connecting with this, with a card, with a wheel, then that will not take this vidhi. Says Anrichaha. Anrichaha is the Manavakaha, is one who has not studied the Rig Veda, who has no Bhavrichaha Brahmana. So one who has studied a lot of Rigs, Bhavrichaha. So what's happening is here is that this An is really a Bahuvari compound. So So I'll just tell you in briefly. Again, we'll not go through all the sutras. What is this is a Vartikam on Vedas. I think this is a word like this, like we say, okay, this 2 to 24 is a Vartikam on that. You can take this Nai and compound that. Compound, create a Bahuvari compound, and leave out the Uttarapadam. So let's see what it says. It says that the Naiyaha Astyarthanam Bahuvrihi Vacha Uttarapada Lopascha Vaktavyaha Avidyamana Putraha Aputraha. Aputraha is one who doesn't have a son. Avidyamana Putraha Aputraha. So same thing here. We're talking about the, again, don't worry too much about the details over here. Avidyamana Rik Yasya Saha Manavakaha. So he is a student who who has not studied any of the mantras of the Rig Veda. He's Anrichaha Manavakaha. So that's with a Bahuvari compound. But regardless of that, the Rich was Uttarapadam, became Richaha, became Ramavat Shabda, became Ramavat. Anrichaha became Ramavat. It didn't become Anruk, became Anrichaha. Same thing, Bhavrichaha. This is the word rich is taken over here. So that's the example for you. Then the word Pur, Lalatapuram, Nandipuram. These are probably going to be Karmadharya compounds. This is a city by that name, Nandipuram. So becoming Nandipuhu, became Nandipura, Pura. So this became Pura. So the Pur became Pura. Right now, just notice only that much for the time being. Became Pur, became Pura. That's what it is saying. Then these words like Vimalapa, I give an example. Up Vimalapa, we just talked about that. Now Dhur, we talk about, let's take a good one here, which is the Rajadhura. So Rajnyaha Dhura is the responsibility of a king. So this is a Shashita Purusha compound, becomes Rajan plus Nyas plus Dhur plus Su. So we got Raja, Dhur, because we read the Kritadita Samasascha. Let's do this one, maybe let's put it in the document. So we have to do the, so Rajan plus Dhur, Shashita Purusha compound, Rajan plus Dhur, Rajan plus, being the Pattaya, Nyas, Rajan plus Nyas plus Dhur plus being the Pattaya Su plus Su. Shashita Purusha compound, that will give us Rajan Dhur by doing the usual 1 to 46. Kritita Samasascha Supo Dhatupadvidikayoho, you'll get Rajan Dhur. And then don't forget is that the Rajan has Padasanya because of Pratyaya Lope Pratyaya Lakshanam Suptingantam Padam. Pratyaya Lope Pratyaya Lakshanam Suptingantam Padam. So when we go to the Tripadi Karyam, we can remove the Nakara. Before that, let's do Samasanta Vidhi now. So before that, let's do the Samasanta Vidhi. So let's make it equal to, the same Rajan Dhur plus A. Rajan Dhur A. So that is the 5474. We do have the word Dhur at the end of a compound. It's not talking about a wheel or an axe or anything like that. So we can definitely put the Pratyaya A over here. Pratyaya A. So this was the 5468 Samasantaha 5474. This entire thing, Rajan Dhura, now gets the Pradipati Sanya again. Or I should rather say the A becomes a Samasasya Antyaha Avayavaha. It's an ending part of the compound itself. So Rajan Dhura is now the Pratipadikam. Dhura is the Pratipadikam. So then when we decline that, we can get a, I think Dhur is a feminine word. Dhur is a feminine form. In Tatpurushas, again, this all is we've not done already, is that in Tatpurusha, the Uttarapadam is Pradhanyam, we talked about that, right? So in the Tatpurusha compound, the Pradhanyam is Uttarapadam. It's with the Uttarapadam. So the Dhura, so the Lingam, in fact, let's look at one more sutram here, which is really not talked for today, but unless we know all these rules, we cannot. The Lingam of a Tatpurusha compound is the Uttarapadam. So Paraval Lingam Dona Tatpurushayoho. Where is that? Paraval Lingam Dona Tatpurushayoho. Here it says Paraval Lingam. So the Lingam of a Tatpurusha compound and Dvandva compound is that of the final member of the Uttara Padam. So Paraval Lingam, so that which is Para, which is the later member of the compound, Uttara Padam. So Paraval Lingam Dvandva Tatpurushayoho. So 2426, the lingam of Raja Dhura will be Strilingam because the word Dhur is a Strilinga Shabda. So by 2426, Paraval Lingam Dvandva Tatpurushayoho, you add the pratyaya top to that. Make it Raja Dhura, Rajan Dhura for the time being. So Rajan Dhura, you make it Rajan Dhura, Rajan Dhura. So what happened here was that we used the Paraval Lingam Dvandva Tatpurushayoho 2426 and then added the pratyaya top, Ajadyata shtap, of course Anubandha lopaha, then Akasavani dirghaha, so made it Rajan Dhura. And technically we had to add the pratyaya sup to that and do, of course, halni abhyo dirgha tuti se pruktam hal. Now when we found the Rajan Dhura as a subantam padam, then we could go Tripadikaryam. Tripadikaryam should not be done until the padam is ready. So now we can make it Rajadhura finally. Rajadhura finally by doing the Nulapa Pradipadikanta. So, okay, let's first do a couple of things here. Let's do the, so Rajan Dhura will take a Supratyaya, then that will take Halniyabhyo Dirgha Sutisya Pruktam Hal. Now Rajan has Padasanya because of the Pratyaya Lovya Pratyaya Lakshanam, Suptingantam Padam, and then finally Nulapa Pradipadikanta Rajan Dhura. So Rajadhura will be the responsibility of a king. So let's do it one more time. This is a Shashi Tatpurusha compound. Again, don't worry about it. You don't get all the details today. We're going to come to this later. So these steps, don't worry too much for today. But so Rajan plus Miyas plus Dhura, Dhur plus Su, Dhur. So that means the king's responsibility. We do the supluk by Krutya Samasascha, Supodhadi Padvikayoho. After that, we add the Samasanta Pratyaya because of the fact that we had the word Dhur at the end of a compound, which is not in the sense of where the Aksha, Anakshe. Everything is satisfied. So 5474 is used. And then, of course, by Samasantaha, that Akara becomes the Antya Vajavaha of the Samasaha. So this entire thing is now the Pradipadika Sanya. Not that this is Pradipadikam, this is separate. It's not like, because of Samasantaha Sutram, this becomes included in the Samasaha. So then we get the Pratyaya top in here, because it's Tatpurusha compound, Paraval Lingam Dvandva Tatpurushayoho, so become Lingam of Dhur. To add Ajadyata shtap, because this now we have a Pradipadika ending in Akara. After we had the Pratyaya was added because Rajan Dhura. That's why Ajadyata shtap came in here. So you want to use the word in the feminine gender now, ending in a Akara. So we had the Pratyaya tap, Anubandha lopaha, Akasami dirgha, Rajan Dhura again. Rajan Dhura we got. Then finally Rajan Dhura plus Su. Default Su we got in here. Then of course Anubandha lopaha, Halni abhyo iti Sakar lopaha. Then by Pratyaya Lopi Pratyaya Lakshanam, Suptingantam Padam, Rajan has the Padasanya. And then finally we did the Nulapa Pradipadikanta Rajadhura. Okay, so that was the example. That's example for the Dhur Pradipadikam. And then Pathin, Jalapataha. So Jalapataha, so path of water, Jalapataha. So it's also, I mean, these compounds can be taken in different kinds of compounds. You're not looking in detail what kind of compound it is, So Jalapataha, so this is, whether it's a Bahuri compound, it doesn't matter, because we said to you is that this Vidhanam of the Pratyaya is not depending on what kind of compound it is. So this can be open to different, different kind of interpretations. So let me see in the Vyakhyanam what kind of compound they've taken. If you give me 1 second. Rajapataha, Padmanabaha, Gavakshaha, Devajanam, Avaranantat, Krishnadharaha, Rippurab, Masaha, Vimalam Apaha, Saraha, so Jalapatha. Anyway, it doesn't matter, whatever kind of compound. Okay, give me 1 second. Now I took so much time anyway. Let me look at Jalapatha. So it can be the path of water, could be possible. Jalapatha could be, a simple, straightforward straightforward meaning in there. Let's see what she's. Let me look at the Vyakhyanam over here. Okay, Jalapataha, Apaha Vimalasaraha, the Eat, Parahum, Rajadhura. Okay, we got that. Okay, I think we can take it as Tatpurusha compound for the time being. I don't think it will make any difference. So Rajapataha, what happened is the Pathin was there. So sorry, let's take Rajapataha. How about that? Rajapataha. Let's make our own example. Keep it simple. One. So Rajnya, highway. This is the highway, right? The king's way. So Rajnyaha Pataha, if you take it like that, so we take Rajan. Let's put it down here. Okay, let's take this one. Let's take Rajan plus, again, Nyas. Let's take the Pathin Pradipadikam. The reason I'm putting it down is because we need an operation to happen over here. That's why I'm putting it down here. Plus Su. The king's way. So, in the path of the king. So, Rajnyaha Pataha. So, it means the highway, the main way. So, here we do the usual operations, Supluk become Rajan Pathin. Rajan Pathin will come. So, Rajan Pathin will come after applying the usual Kritya Samasascha Supodhatu Pradipadikayoho at Rajan Pathin. So, 1246 Kritya Samasascha 2471. Now what happens is that we do have Pathin at the end of a compound. Pratyaya comes in here. So we take Rajan Pathin Rajan Pathin Rajan Pathin So by 5474, 5468, Samasantaha, he comes inside that. Now the Angam gets the Bhasanya. Yachibham. Don't forget Yachibham and Swadishwa Sarvanama Sthane, because these are Tadita Pratyayas now. As I said, the Samasanta Pratyayas, also they are Tadita Pratyayaha. So they are also Swadi Pratyayaha. So let's not forget that part of it. So these two Sutra Dvayam, the Swadishwa Sarvanama Sthane and Yachibham. So when you add any Swadi Pratyayaha, always think, is the Angam getting the Bhasanya, is the Angam getting the Padasanya? So because these Tadhitas are also in the Swadi, and Samasanta is within the Tadhyata Adhikaraha. Here the Angam gets the Bhasanya. Now you understand why Panini wants to keep these as part of Tadhyata Pratyayaha, as part of the Swadis. Because Panini wants the Angakaryam with the Padasanya and the Bhasanya. But at the same time, he wants the Pratyaya to become part of the compound. So that's why Samasantaha Adhikara Arabhyate. So we have a Pratyayaha, which is Tadita Pratyayaha, which of course is Swadi. All Tadita is part of Swadi. But Tadita Adhikara starts from 4176, Tadita Aha, which ends only end of 54. So these will give the Angam, the Padasanya or the Bhasanya as the case may be, Yachibham, otherwise Padasanya. And then you can do the respective Angakaryam based on the Bhasanya or the Padasanya if there is any Angakaryam. And then we can, but this Pratyaya becomes part of the Samasa, it will create its own, this Pradipadikam, take its own Supratyaya. So in our case, we're getting the Bhasanya or Yachibham. Even in the prior example, we had Bhasanya also. Don't forget, even in the prior example, we had the Bhasanya, but there was no Bhasambandhi Karyam. There was no Karyam in that. So even here, Rajan Dhur had the Bhasanya. Even here it had the Bhasanya, Yachibham. But there was no Karyam based on that Bhasanya. That's why we didn't mention that. But here, when Rajan Pathin when you have, this will now again have the Bhasanya or Yachibham, but here there is a Karyam, which is the Nastadjite. Nastadjite. If you have a Nakarantamangam, which has the Bhasanya, and which is followed by the Pratyaya, which is the Tadhita Sanya, then the Tehe Lopa Bhavati. One more time. Nastadjite. Anuvritti of Tehe is coming down. Tehe. Tehe. So this is Lopaha. So T Bhagasya Lopaha. So this is T will take Lopaha. Allopa, and I think Lopa is coming from here. Allopanaha, which of course we know the Sutram. So Lopaha of the T Bhagaha takes place of a Nakarantamangam, which has of course the Bhasanya in the Bhasya Adhikaraha, as long as the following Pratyaya is Tadita Pratyaha. So by this Nastadhite 64144, the T Bhagaha, Chavantyadi T, which means the in Pathin, the in will take the T Lopaha. Actually, you know what? Now I'm having a question in my own mind. There's one more sutram which is that we also have learned already in the Saturday class, which is the bhasyater lopaha. Which means the pathin is there. Maybe we can use this also maybe then. Bhasyater lopaha is that if the pathin pradipadikam is there, which has the bhasanya, the T lopaha takes place. What do you think, Kalpesh? Which one do you use? Do we use the bhasyater lopaha? Or do you use nastadjite? Which one do you use?
I think I would use 7188.
It's parakaryam, right?
Yeah, parakaryam and also specific to Padin Shabda.
But then here also specific to Somasan. Tadisapatya specific, right? So let me look. I opened a can of worms. I didn't expect this one to come. Okay, so we have two sutras. We'll get the same operation because one is for pathin, mathin, etc. Again, bhasyater lopaha, which requires a pathin pradipadikam, which has the bhasanya, and then we'll take the T lopaha. The other one is the nastadite, requires the angam, which has the bhasanya ending in a nakara, forward pratyaya, which has the tadita sanya. So right now we have both of these qualifying. Okay, give me 1 second, okay. I know time's running out, but I think both might work. But let me see. Let me see what Shastriji has done. I think both of these might work. Let me give you a quick thing. And let me look at a couple of commentaries. I don't want to make a mistake, and I guess we have to stop with this one. But let me see what they have done now. I think in the Bhaymi Vyakya he has used the bhasyater, which Kalpesh is saying. I think that's what he has done over here, but I don't see why we cannot use nastadjite also. Okay, let's see. Let's see when he gives an exam on page, volume 4, pathin, Lokika Vigraha, Sakhi Pataha is what he gives. So Rajapataha, Sakhi Pataha, same thing. Sakhi Pataha, Pantaha, Sakhi Pataha. So Rajnyaha, Pantaha, Rajapataha, which is fine. And there he takes bhasyater lopaha he is doing. Okay, so Kalpesh is right, then he's taking this one. Taking 7188. Now, let me just quickly check. I thought I saw nastadjite somewhere. Give me 1 second, okay? Let me just see. I thought, okay, Ramya Patha Desha, okay, Sakhi Pataha, Siddhanta Kaumudi, Sakhi Pataha. Let me see what they're doing over here. Okay. This is a lot of questions today. I'm raising more questions and answering more, I guess. Okay, I'm not seeing over here in the Vyakya. Tattva Bodhi is not giving me. I was expecting he might give us. All right. Okay. Let me know. I think time is running out anyway. All right. So let me put this one for the time being. 7188. I think 641. Yes. Oh.
Yeah. So you got me thinking now. Then why is 7188 required? Because the same is achieved by
no. It's only tadhite. Be careful. It's only tadhite.
Okay. That makes sense.
So this is an overlap between those two. So that's why we got stuck
yes.
here. So both have prayojanam. And this is parakaryam. Okay, you know what? Let's leave it at that. I think 64144 will work here. But parakaryam wise, let's use the bhasyater lopaha. So anyway, regardless with either one you use, you're going to get the form pat. So Rajan pat. So we have used the yachibham, of which you need that to get the sanya first, either of these. Then I'm using 7185 bhasyater, 7188 bhasyater lopaha. I think could have also used 64, I think 144 it is, 64144. Yeah, could have used 64134 I think, but so could have used 64144, but 7188 is parakaryam. So I'll leave it for the time being. I'll look it up for next time. I will look this up and see why it's going to be. But I don't see why this one we should not apply. Should apply this one also. Okay, so we have that, and then we got Rajan Patha, and the same thing as we did before, Raja Pataha. is, we will get the same Nastadyate, I mean the Nulava Pradipadikanta. So Rajapatha. I won't put all the ones in here. So basically we have to use 8 to 7 by using Nulava Pradipadikanta. Same thing as before. Do the Rajan has a Padasanya, Pratyira Vipatya Lakshanam, and by Suptingantam Padam, and then make it Rajan Patha. This becomes like a Ramavat Shabda now. So when you apply this 5474, it creates a Ramavat Shabda. Okay, let's stop with that. Let me just go through this one. I'm sorry, it took more time than I thought, because anyway, it's good vichara is being done on samasas. I hope you're getting into samasa mode now, thinking about samasas. So sometimes there are no clear-cut answers here. We have to think about different points of view. In fact, I'll put you 7188. So last time when we taught this class, you have 7188 also we had. Okay. Anyway, so now let me go to the numbers for next time. I think I already gave you last time anyway. Is Saman and Loman. This is 5475. But you got the gist of it now. If there's Saman and Loman by these, preceded by these, we're going to take Samasanta Pratyaha, which you're going to look at it. This is 5475. These two, Bhumi, Nadi, Godavari, is 5475 Vartikam. Now number 5 is 5477 Vartikam for Chatur. Vartikam 5477. Varchas is 5478, preceded by these. Is also, I think also Vartikam here, I think 5470, I think with the Vartikam, I think it's 5 for this one. Then because 5478 itself has only limited scope. It only talks about only Brahma and Hasti. So you take the 5478 with the Vartikam for the Palya and Rajan. Then 5479 Tamas and 5485 for Advan. So these 5485. We had to go through the same kind of steps. There might be some Angakaram involved. We'll do it next time. And Dvandva is only one sutram, which is 2229. But the complication is that this Samahara Dvandvaha is these rules from 242 to 2416. 24 to 2416, when these Dvandva is treated like Eka Vashnam, Ekavat, it becomes a singular neuter form, Samahara Dvandvaha. So even though Dvandva is only one sutram, Charte Dvandvaha, very straightforward sutram, really nothing much, but the Samahara Dvandvaha, this has special rules when a Samahara can be formed. So if you want to scan this for next time, from 242 to 2416, from 242 to 2416, we'll stop with that. So 242 to 2416, for next time homework is this one, 242 to 2416 for the Samahara Dvandvaha, Samahara Dvandvaha, Samahara Dvandvaha, Samahara Dvandvaha. So we'll tell you when Samahara can be done or has to be done, so that we'll do it next time, Dvandvaha. Okay. Ramo Rajamanissada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Bhiyata Nishacharachamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Raman Nasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasyada Sosmyaham Rame Chittale Sada Bhautame Bhorama Muddhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Ramanama Varanane Sri Ramanama Varanana Ondana.